the 306, and I brought down the breaker for that. It's not a big set of steps, but I wanted to set the machine on the asphalt over there and reach it. We're going to rip out these 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, cut that face back, and replace these 2 cheek walls. I'm going to try and keep the handrail intact, doing a saw cut right down there in the seam. We have to replace this corner right here. It looks like it was repaired once, so we're going to cut all that off. They want to keep that upper pad. We don't want to get into doing all the demo and everything on the foundation of the building. That's why we're not taking it back further. We're just going to do a saw cut right in here and replace from here out. Do a saw cut right here and replace from here out. So we're going to form it with these cheek walls and steps all together, monolithic poured all together. And actually we're going to try and keep the handrail intact and just pour underneath it. So it's raining pretty good. We have this work easy up. It's seen better days, but it's keeping us nice and dry. More importantly, it's keeping our tools dry. So before I start doing any demo, I'll bring up some 2x10 lumber and I'm going to form up this outer wall. I want to do this exactly how it is so it works the handrail. So I'm going to build this form and I'm going to build the other side right now. Then I won't attach. I'll just slide out of the way, do my demo, put it right in position, and I'll keep this same pitch identical. So I just have this 2x10 sitting on the ground. It's at the exact same plane as my cheek wall. So I just plumb up, draw a line, as well as right here. And I'll probably have to adjust the length. So this is my panel. This is the top. It goes up here. So I just need to cut the bottom. But first I'm attaching them all to a 2x4 stringer, not stringer, just connector board. Took a couple tries. There's a bow in this wall that was holding me out. But now we're nice and flush. Right there, right there. And Steve's is the same way. This corner has been repaired a couple of times, so it's nothing real nice and true. So we're gonna go 1.5 inches past and do our saw cutting. We'll get new concrete underneath this handrail here. Saw cut it straight down. Same thing over here. Saw cutting straight down. So now we could start our demo. Okay, just a couple minutes of saw cutting. You can see how dirty the respirator is. I like to wear better ones, but this is all we have right now. It's better than nothing. Try and keep that dust out of your lungs. Okay, this is opposite of how we normally lay out steps. We're keeping this for our cheek walls. This gets cut out, concrete will come through here, and our step risers come on here. So this will be our bottom step. 1, 2, 3, 4, would you say 5, Steve?
5.
5th step right here. So we know our run is 10 inches. So framing square right there. 10 inches to the edge of the board, and I put a pencil mark, and I rotate the framing square right like that, and I square up 5.5 inches, run is 10, and so on, all the way up the board, making my 10 right on this edge, my 5.5 right on that edge, all the way up. So there's my 10, put a pencil mark, following the framing square on that line.
That's our
Pardon me?
2, 3, 4.
I'm just doing an extra one.
Okay.
We'll have it, because we cut the bottom off. And then this will go up on top of the deck and help hold us at 5.5, following my face. So Steve will go along and cut all of these triangles out. Cutting, Elliot and I took the Sawzall and cut underneath our bolts, so this handrail is all loose, and I put a block underneath here holding it up. We don't want to stress this corner, or how you see how they put them into the mortar. They're mortared into that. I don't want to do any unnecessary shaking and crack that. So everything is elevated and separated. So I'm going to go ahead and start hammering while Steve and Elliot cut those out. Now once they cut those steps, the next side is easy. They'll just set this on top of their next board, trace it out. As long as they cut it out good, it'll be good. Okay, I got out a hammer drill with a chisel bit on it. Just trying to take care of these corners a little bit. This should come right out. This wall needs to go down just a little bit more. Just a little bit more up at the top, and I think we're good. Right here, we just want to go nice and slow. I don't want to send a crack through that porch. Just a little bit of chipping, we'll have it out of there in no time. When I say we, I mean Steven. A little bit of concrete right out of that corner. And right out of this corner, and we are done with demo. That went pretty good, huh guys? See if we can get this here. That's it, just a little bit of there, and we are good to go. Okay, with all of our demo done as far as we're going to do it, we're going to keep the foundation to set our new steps on. So I came over 2 3/4 from the feet of the handrail. Sorry, I'm filthy dirty, I know. And I put a plumb line down. So now, with our wing lines already built to the exact size we wanted, we'll screw these right in place. Right to the other side. Okay, we all study that. Make sure you can see the line. You want to see the line going down that wall. That way we know we're plumb. We got our top one in, so we can still twist it a little bit until Steve kicks it. Tapping it out. Okay, Ellie is giving in pressure. We'll get 3 tap cons on this side. Not bother. One minor adjustment to this is bottom one. We're cutting 1.5 inches by 5.5 out. and cutting this little heel off, and I'll show you why in 1 minute. Go through this real quick. We got 9.5 inches. 9.5 inches. So we want a nice even cheek wall coming down both sides. And again, I mean, I'm about an 1/8 inch, not even an 1/8 inch light there. And 9.5 inches. So we find center, fit a 36 inch step in, minus our 1.5 inches on each side. So we cut these at 33 inches. We did blocking, so we're screwed that way and that way. So we can strip each individual step and then take our side panel off. These are setting on concrete, nice and solid. Steve's making our blocking for our curbing right here. Just wedging it off of the back form. Real simple, nothing can move. So he'll screw it in this side here. One last thing I wanted to show you. Putting a quick square in here. You want to make sure everything's nice and square. Each step nice and square. Right, like that. See how this side is. Okay. So that's how we do our steps with cheek walls on them. So we'll need one more return right here to get us up to our height. Now these are sagging down ever so slightly, so we might just float down a little bit on here. We don't want to embed this in the concrete. So a simple chalk line or a pencil line here, one more return here, all done. Well, exactly like he's doing up there. So tomorrow we're going to go ahead and throw this little sidewalk in, return, little walk, cap the asphalt, and pour these first thing in the morning. See you then. Okay, so we're back over here on these steps. This top edge here, let me give you a close-up, has a chamfered edge on it, like a 45-degree bevel. So I went ahead and cut these in my shop last night, made some chamfer strips, and I'll just run them down the outside. I'm not going to put them in here because that's too close. So putting my last one on right here. So I just find my angle so I get a nice fit. That'll be real nice to finish with the concrete. Over there I'm 8.5 inches out from right there, so I want to be the same. That way we can pull the screws out real easy. Now I just have to do my return right here. All done. And to just see how close you can get these boards to fit in there, that looks like a pretty good fit. So I'll transfer this over here and I'll cut my return right here. Good to go. Okay, there's my chamfer strip I'll cut in place. Coming down, and I'm just stopping them right here. New bolts are in. We'll let these go for about a month and then we can just snug these up right here. I couldn't get that one out, but I got a new one there, 2 new ones, and all the rest, those are still attached really good. So we're in good shape there. Got some rebar coming on the mixer. I think I'm going to throw some bracing across here. I think we're good. Okay, so we put blocking here. I ran a wedge board from right here straight back to foundation, so that if this thing wants to push It has to bow this, it has to flex that, and that's just not going to happen. Ran a 2x4 across wall, stringer, wall. We ran 2 braces off of our stringers to pins, along with our side bracing, 3 tap cons. I think it looks pretty good. Everything's nice and straight, nice and square. Waiting on concrete. As soon as concrete gets here, we're going to cut a couple rebar for this walk and turn in. We're just pouring this like 8 inches thick. It's only 10 feet long. I didn't want to go get some stone for it, so we're just going to pour it super thick, and that way they can drive anything over that edge. It won't hurt it. Yeah, cut it up. Yeah. No, just 10 foot. We have a power inverter in the truck. That way we don't have to pull out an extension cord for everything. All right. Mixer's in place. Rather than mess up the grass and everything, there's a water line going through here. We'll just shovel that top step. We'll give a nice pile right here, and then one up top. Let's grab the hose. We'll wet this all down. So just squirting these steps down. The way the concrete doesn't stick to it quite so bad. All right, get you set up. Let's get pouring. We're pouring this about a 3-inch slump. Hey, we need to get some concrete in the bottom first. Okay. So right in there. Get a nice pile right here. Nothing pushed, everything's still nice and straight. The mixer just started washing up. Now the concrete's not setting up very fast. I just wanted to point out how tight the concrete is. You can see how it just stays right on that angle. That's what you want to do if you're pouring steps, if you're pouring a wall of some sort. Keep that concrete tighter, and you'll have much better success with it. Stuff like this, we have little margin trowels. We'll come in here and clean all this up and true those up. Okay, get a drink of water. That was 3 yards of concrete. I didn't ask him what he had left, but it was a tough, small little pour. A lot of shoveling, no room to work. So we stay straight. Looks pretty straight, right? We had a spacer in here. Let's see if that opened up. Spacer's still nice and tight. Good, nothing moved there. Looks good. And this one here stays tight as well. My spacer, there's a bow in this wall, so we kept the bottom in tight, and pushed out at the top where we needed it. Okay. Okay, last wall right here. Jim's rubbing that side up. We save some concrete right there and we stir it up and get a little bit of cream going. Filling in any holes. And you always get a little bit, so it's nice to be able to fill them in. Almost ready to pull that camper.
If there is one, then it goes in my dad's truck.
A little tapping on it. Got a hammer right here. Ready?
There we go.
Don't let it fall. Okay, so we just clean up that edge.
Give me a sponge.
There's a sponge right in front of them. As soon as you hit it with that damp sponge, just a little bit of moisture really cleans it up nice. I'll go show you the finished side. This is our last board that comes off. There's the steps all done. Need a little touch up right in that corner right there. Doesn't that look nice though? That all matches the existing. A little bit bigger, but it's pretty close. It matches this over here. They went with a little one here. I didn't pick up on that. I don't think anybody else will either. I'm gonna jump in and touch up that corner. Almost done. Okay, final steps to these steps. Ha 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 ha. Applying the SRT. Now these get hit with salt every day in the wintertime. Salt, calcium, it's all the same. It's hard on concrete, especially concrete that is less than a year old. So really flood those joints, hit the sides. Where all those corrosives lay is where it deteriorates the concrete. So we want to get good sealer, good protection on there. Stuff dries crystal clear. You don't even know it's on there. SRT from ChemMaster. And the tip clogs. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and sign off. As always, thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. It's a hot one out here today, but all the guys did really good. This project came together real nice. If you like what you saw, hit that like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We need you to actually start stopping people on the street and telling them. Total strangers, just tell them about our channel. That's what I do. See you later.